Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Answers for Elders radio network with Rebecca Bomann from SASH Realty, sashservices.com, and of course, the CEO and founder of SASH. And Rebecca, we're having a very interesting discussion that, it's bringing back so many memories of my caregiving time when I was a family caregiver. And I know, obviously, for you, you deal with that with families all the time.
I do. And I've been the family before, and my husband has also gone through this with his family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what we want listeners to know as we're going through and describing things is that, bumpy family dynamics through mom or dad's home sale or mom or dad's big transitions in life is normal.
Yep.
It's normal. It's not if there's going to be any opinions or conflicts or, differences of goals. It's when is it going to come up.
Yep.
And wanting to keep things as even keel as possible for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So in our last segment, we talked about a couple different family roles that some of the listeners might resonate with: the devoted advocate, the martyr or sacrificial lamb, the no-show, and the armchair quarterback. And so in this segment, the first one that I wanted to talk about is the quote unquote expert in the family. Oh, you gotta love it. This person believes they know more than anyone and everyone on every topic. And it's sort of harmless when you're just having Christmas dinner together or Thanksgiving, or you're meeting for Mother's Day or something, but it can get very dicey when you've got this expert in the family making decisions about mom or dad's care without wanting to take anyone else's facts or guidance into consideration. So
I often see that with a spouse.
Aha.
Like, in other words, if dad needs care or mom needs care and the family is around saying, and then dad will step up and say, no, this isn't how it's going to be. Or, no, we're not going to do it this way. I mean, I've kind of seen, have you not seen that?
Yeah. I think I see a lot of families where it's just the one mom or dad left. And so they don't have that spouse advocating for them as much, but you're right. And you see people just step up and they're passionate, and that's a good thing, but they believe that because they look at Zillow, that they know more than the real estate agent knows about, how the home should be sold or priced. They believe that since they Googled something, they know more than the doctor or nurse about mom or dad's specific care.
Right.
And so that team, we were talking about bringing in a team of professionals, the expert in the family can really undermine the assistance that these professionals are trying to provide, around mom or dad's care, because they're constantly at odds with that guidance that they're getting. They're constantly disagreeing with, the suggestions for care. And so it can be a little bit challenging to get anything accomplished and when you've got an expert in the family. So maybe some of the listeners will resonate with this. The next family role that we want to talk about, and you and I have discussed this on previous segments, is somebody in the family that really is using the senior for their resources. This is hard to see. It's heartbreaking as well when it's a family member. They will sometimes be living with mom or dad for years rent-free, and using their home as their own, which in a caregiver situation is great, but not in a user situation, as we'll continue to describe. They're siphoning money from the bank account, from mom or dad's bank account. They're using up their savings. They're taking, valuables in the home and selling them. They're using mom or dad's car, the food. And I come into situations where I see this, and the user sees mom or dad selling their home as a threat to their own well-being, to their own status quo, to this kind of situation they've got set up for themselves, where they can live off of mom or dad, and they will fight tooth and nail and burn it all down before they will let mom or dad get the care that they really need.
Sure.
And this is hard, and it divides families, because the devoted advocate comes in and has to be at odds with their own brother or sister who is the user. And the devoted advocate will have the power of attorney.
Very common.
Right. And long relationships, since childhood, will be torn and broken over how mom or dad is being treated. And sometimes the devoted advocate comes in and they make discoveries they didn't even know were going on. Of what's happening with this. And it's heartbreaking to watch this.
It is. And the other thing is, I have seen it so often where, you're exactly talking about that. I probably get more phone calls about that situation where either somebody's niece, but then the siblings up above here, but then the niece who's a single mom lives with grandmother. And so now you've got this situation where the two siblings are upset because the mother of the niece is saying, wait a minute, this is my child down there. You're not going to just kick my child out. In the meantime, you got to take care of grandma.
Right.
So I've seen that too.
Yeah. And there are all these competing interests and people who are coming in with different agendas. And at the end of the day, this is the bottom line.
Yeah.
What's best for the senior? What is the best thing for them?
Yeah.
And sometimes, I see grown-ups, 50, 60, 65 years old, having to go out in the world for the first time in 15 or 20 years with no skills because they haven't had to work or pay bills for that long.
Exactly.
And that's a difficult thing to navigate. And so we respect. We've helped them relocate. We've helped them land on their feet. We've helped them. But at the end of the day, they can't just hold that senior hostage in their own home indefinitely when their care is really important.
No, it's true.
On a more positive note, another family dynamic that I don't as much see this, but I love it when I see it, is what I call the team. And that's when everybody rallies together in this really beautiful symphony of help and time and resources to come around grandma, grandpa, or mom or dad. I remember helping a family a couple of years ago, and it was this big compound, an acre, huge garage, big house that they had custom built, and it was full. Everything was full of belongings. And I said, would you like some assistance packing and moving the items out, since that's a service that SASH provides? And they said, oh no, we got it. And in one weekend, 27 family members descended on grandma's home, and they packed everything up, moved it out, and left it broom swept for me. It was a miracle. It was amazing. And they all came in to help. And nowadays people are communicating by text, by Zoom, siblings delegating tasks to each other, working together. And I have to tell you, this makes an immeasurable difference in the quality of life for the senior, to have so much cooperation and teamwork happening around them.
Very true. Very true.
The last family role that I wanted to mention is what I call the volunteer angel. And this can be anyone, but it's somebody who really doesn't have anything to gain by coming and helping. And they show up in a big way, kind of sometimes unexpectedly. They come with sandwiches, they come on moving day, they come on the estate sale day, they sit with mom or dad when they don't have a caregiver there with them. They're there cleaning out the car or running an errand, and they don't ask for anything in return. They just come and show up because they want to do the right thing. This could be, a distant family member. Sometimes it's a person in the church or a neighbor or something, but these volunteer angels are so welcome. And sometimes the volunteer angel is the only person that senior has in their life. Yeah. It's the only person. They don't have any family. Yeah. They don't have grandchildren or children nearby. They don't have professionals helping. There's just that one person who comes to their side and is there to help them and look out for them. And they are an angel. And they very rarely get paid anything for their time, but they make such an important difference in the life of that senior.
You know, and that is so interesting because it is so valuable. And I have seen volunteer angels come in and be the referee.
Yes.
Which is amazing in itself. I also would probably put a lot of people that have like clergy members or somebody that comes in like a church group or a volunteer group. I know that when, you know, for example, with 12 Days of Goodness, we do a lot of stuff with seniors. And if there's a senior that has, especially during the pandemic, that's had some issues with, you know, I know that they're, you know, the Seahawkers, the Booster Club, they've stepped up and they do a lot of things like, you know, Meals on Wheels or different things like that, just to help through. And I know we've been through this stuff with the pandemic, and I've seen so many amazing things happen with people, you know, doing things for nothing in return except to just give.
It is really, really wonderful, Suzanne, to see that. And I go out of my way to thank these volunteer angels for what they do, because they often do it without thanks.
Yeah.
Without any reward, without any pay. I just recently sold a gentleman's home who doesn't have any children, no grandchildren, and his wife is in 24-hour care and has dementia. So he's really completely alone in the world. And his church showed up just like this incredible team of helpers. They landscaped, they cleaned, they emptied his home. They're taking him to doctor's appointments. They are his family. And so even people that don't have sort of biological family in the area, you can adopt family. You can create a tribe or a village around you, you know, to help you with it. You don't have to have folks that are related to each other. And sometimes it's almost better.
Yeah.
It's an army of volunteers rather than.
Right. So Rebecca, how do we reach you?
Our website is sashservices.com and our toll-free number, 888-400-SASH.
And Rebecca and I will be right back, everyone, right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.